find out what's going to happen. But I'm in what I would call the spiciest riding in the Lower Mainland. It is Abbotsford, South Langley. And the reason why it's so spicy, I heard you say a little bit about it, but I call it the battle of the conservatives in many ways, because a previously conservative candidate, which is former MLA Mike de Jong, is now running successfully, it would seem, as an independent. And he's been neck and neck with his conservative opponent, Sukhman Gill. The reason why it's so spicy, in addition to that, is because Mike DeYoung, he was an MLA, a veteran MLA for 30 years. He was with the BC Liberals. Some would argue maybe he's a Liberal, maybe he's a Conservative. But for 30 years, he's the former Attorney General in British Columbia. And he was asked by the Conservative Party to put in his bid, and he did, and he campaigned for a year. And then they let him go with not much of a reason other than to say he was not qualified, which with the resume I just said was quite interesting, especially since Conservative candidate Sukhman Gill is 25 years old, a student, and I believe he's a blueberry farmer as well. We love our farmers, but when you get told you're not qualified versus that, it does raise some eyebrows.
You know, very interesting, because Mike DeYoung, like you say, he was an established candidate who had a real brand, and the fact that sort of fell apart, I could imagine I could just imagine what he felt. I'm looking at the latest stats here, Drea. Now, you correct me if you have access to better stats, but what I'm looking at right now is 35 out of 215 polls reported. And Sukhman Gill of the Conservatives is still in the lead with 40%. The Liberals are in second with 32%, and Mike DeYoung is back at 20.5. And I don't know if all his votes are coming from the Conservative, but it's sort of like that's a big chunk to take away. But despite that, and again, only 15% of the votes are counted, but it looks like the Conservative will win, the Liberals will be in second, and Mike DeYoung third. What do you make of that? Are you hearing anything different at the office there?
Yeah, I'm at his watch party, and so last I looked, it was like that. But yes, I mean, independents, as we know, they have a hard run. I think he's having a better run than most Conservatives were because people know him. But it is a Conservative riding. Usually this is a safe vote for the Conservatives in this area. The riding was recently restructured, but it isn't surprising to see the Conservatives win. But you never know. There's still a lot of votes left, so it depends on where those votes are coming from.
Yeah. I want to note that the district just to the north, Langley Township, Fraser Heights, the incumbent was a Conservative, Taco Van Popta, and he's doing quite well, 44.6%. But he slipped into second place. The Liberals are ahead, and you know why? Because the NDP has absolutely evaporated. The NDP with just approximately 5% of the vote. So, you know what? The latest stats, Taco is jumping ahead a little bit. Sorry, my stats were slightly outdated compared to the ones on the screen right now. It's so close, but I think the story of the election is the total implosion of the NDP, because Canada is not conservative enough that a right-of-center party is going to win on a head-to-head basis. Stephen Harper had to unite the right, and he needed a Liberal and NDP opposition.
Yep.
When the NDP goes away, well, that means Liberal victories. Dre, keep in touch, especially if anything interesting happens tonight. Oh, go ahead. You have something you want to say.
Well, the only other interesting thing, I don't know if you guys talked about Jagmeet Singh's riding, but it looks like he is tanking big time. Last I checked, he was around 24%, with both the Conservative and the Liberals ahead of him, with the Liberals in the lead. So I don't know if you have different stats than that, but that certainly aligns with what you were just saying.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The latest stats I'm looking at in Burnaby Central, and again, if control room, if you have different stats, let me know. But Jagmeet Singh in third place with 25%, with the Liberals and the Conservatives. I mean, again, still fairly early days there, but he'll be free to collect his pension. He's got his pension. That's the important thing.
if there'll be one left for the rest of us. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Drea. Thanks for keeping in touch.